why your life is so boring. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Anthony Spade channel.
Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before we get started, I want you to watch the entire video. If you like the video, comment, like, subscribe at the end of the video. But first, watch the entire video. Okay, today we're going to be talking about why your life is so boring. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because a lot of people fill their time up with negativity, because negativity releases so many different type of emotions that it actually gives entertainment to people. All right? Women are really good for this. When they get bored, they like to stir up trouble. But when the human brain is bored, whether it's in man or female, they have a tendency to make bad decisions for entertainment. But today we're going to talk about what creates that thought process. Why do you think like that? Stay tuned. First, you're reflecting too much on the past. All right? I always have a saying, the rearview mirror is always smaller than the window going forward. Why is your front windshield so much bigger than your rearview mirror? It's because you're only supposed to look behind you when the past is catching up to you and you're trying to get away from it. All right? The rearview mirror is smaller in your cars because you're not supposed to be looking at that much. The more you look at your rearview mirror, the more you're gonna be distracted on where the car is going. If you're distracted where the car is going, then you're more likely gonna get in a car accident. This is how a lot of car accidents are started, is through distractions, whether it's through the phone or whether it's through other things. But a lot of accidents are caused by distractions because people are bored, filling their distractions with entertainment that's not good for them, if that makes sense. So understand, when you start reflecting on your past, you start thinking about the history, you start thinking why there's nothing to do now, you're looking for blame. Everybody that stays looking in the past, you're constantly looking for blame. So if your thought process is filled with trying to blame others for your problems, then you're never going to be feeling it on how to move forward in life. And this is why a lot of people are not successful. It's because they're allowing the past to reflect their future. Next, you don't have any expectations of yourself. You haven't set any goals. Chances are life is just basic. You wake up at the same time, you go to sleep at the same time, you go to your car at the same time. Everything that you do doesn't require a goal. It's just a utility. It's something that you just have to do with your life. You have to go to work because you have to be able to eat and you have to be able to provide for yourself, but you may not live in the best house. But the thing is, you don't know what to expect out of yourself. You don't know what you want to be. You don't know where you want to go. You don't know what type of person that you think you are. What is it that you want to be when you grow up? I tell guys that all the time. When you were in kindergarten and you were in little school, they always had, what do you want to be when you grow up? And kids say, I want to be a fireman, or I want to be a police officer, or I want to be a dentist, or I want to be that. Go all the way back to your childhood and think, what is it that you wanted to be when you grow up? You find that thought and you ask yourself, what happened to that thought process? What made me not have any expectations out of myself? Why do I not expect myself to do anything besides sit around, dwell on the past, and blame the past for why I'm not where I'm at now? It's so many people, right, in life that are blaming COVID on why they're not successful. They're blaming COVID on this. They're blaming COVID on that. But before COVID, they were the smartest people in the world. They were the ones that knew everything. They knew how life was. They had it all figured out. No, it ain't about that. A valuable, high valuable, a smart and a thorough person can get knocked down, not complain about their past, and they get right back up and move forward as if nothing happened. That's the difference between the alpha and the beta. The beta is gonna always come up with excuses why his life is not the way it is. But alpha males are gonna get hit harder than most betas, and they're gonna give up and persevere through life. They're not gonna allow it to stop them. That's what you have to do. You don't have any expectations of where you want to be and where you want to go. So you're stuck. Next, life is just too routine. Life is just too routine. That's the hardest part that it is for people to break. It's hard for them to break smoking. It's hard for them to break drinking. It's hard for them to break addicts that they have, addicted to water, addicted to walking, addicted to cleaning, addicted to doing these things. When your life has an addiction, right? They did the study on a guy. He ate macaroni and cheese every day for a year straight. A year straight. His body was working good. He was happy. He felt good. Why? Because his body became programmed to the macaroni and cheese. So the more he ate the macaroni and cheese, the more dopamine is released through his body, so it feels good. The moment they gave him something else to eat, he felt depressed. Why did he felt depressed? Because his body was so used to releasing dopamine to one thing that when he tried to change it up, it gave him a bad feeling. It released cortisol. Cortisol is going to release a bad feeling through your body, and then it's going to cause your body to want to put on weight. So the more miserable you are, the more weight you're going to gain. So when it comes, what I'm trying to say is that a lot of you guys are so into routine that the moment you try to stop and do something new, you're instantly become miserable and depressed because you don't recognize the emotion. Your body hasn't worked through the emotion to tell you how you're supposed to feel about doing a certain thing. So now you can't go nowhere in life because it's hard for you to break patterns in your life to allow your brain to think differently. To think differently. People cannot think differently if you've been doing the same thing too long and surrounded by people that are doing the same thing with you. It's hard for you to break a cycle. You know, it's hard for people to try to get out the ghetto because you have the crab in the barrel mentality where someone's trying to bring you back in because they can't see you doing anything. They'll never be happy for you. So stop making everything routine. Do something odd that's different in your life. It may feel funny at first, but work through it and see what type of energy it gives to you. Next, life is just a highlight reel. You're watching everybody's life online, and you're thinking everybody is getting married. Everybody is having the time of their life. They're driving Lamborghinis, they're driving Rolls Royces, they're driving Bentleys. Look at them on the beach. Look at them doing this. Look at them doing that. If you look at majority of people that are online doing that, look at their life a year ago. It was nothing. You have so many people that are gaining success off the internet that they're able to go back and take so many photos of their modern day life that when you go and look at their highlight reel of their life, it looks like they've been living like that for a long time because of the amount of photos that they snapped, the amount of videos that they put in there that you can't even go all the way back and check their past and see what they was like. That's what got a lot of you, your lives are boring. It's because you're looking at their lifestyle and you're like, man, I want to live like that, but that requires millions of dollars. That requires a lot of money. How do I get there? And I don't even know where I'm going to start at. So now you have a boring life because you feel like there's levels in life that you can never achieve. So it's no use of you trying to achieve it. There's no use of you trying to be anything. It's easier to be boring and then go in the past history, victimize yourself, and find other victims, victimized people that feel the same way as you. That's all society does. This is how come we have such a social program mindset. If everybody is depressed, let's all feel sorry for depressed people today. If anybody is happy today, we're gonna be mad at them. Then when it's happy day, everybody's happy. That when everybody's mad, it's like, oh, that's the bad person of today. We can't do that. Like, look how fast police officers became ill. And a lot of good police officers lost their job and went behind because of certain situations, right? That's going to change everything. But it's also on the other end. Black Lives Matter destroyed a lot of black neighborhoods that destroyed their black neighborhoods, but they're never going to get it back. It felt good for you to destroy it, but those owners are not going back in the neighborhood, and now the black people that are there are going to suffer. So you have to understand, you remove cops off the street, you're going to suffer. You want to burn down your own neighborhoods and the owners don't want to go back there and build, you're going to suffer. Why? Because you were distracted, because your life was boring. You went back, victimized yourself, it held you back, and you didn't see the future going forward on how your emotions were going to affect you, all because you were too bored to learn. Hopefully you understood that. Hopefully you got the message today. This is Anthony Spade. Comment, like, subscribe. Hasta la vista.